Girl Najwa, thank you so much for being here. If you're new to my channel, I would love to have you do a favor for me. I need you to do me a favor. You need to do me a favor. I want you to hit the like and subscribe button. Hit all the bells. All of them. Just bells, bells, bells. We are the Liberty Bell Ringers. Hit all of the bells. I'm dancing, literally asking you. No, what it does is when you subscribe to this channel, it really enables a better reach for this channel so that we can grow a little engaging community here. It helps us find each other. We're like star-crossed lovers, you know, so we can have that kismet relationship. It helps us find each other, helps grow this channel. It brings us closer together. It helps us be able to engage more. So please do hit the subscribe button, hit all the bells, just all of them. So we are here today to talk about a really, really interesting subject, and that is the top social justice activist of 2023. Now, there was this time, I don't know what happened, but between like 2005 and 2015, social justice warrior memes and that caricature of just like the hippie who doesn't bathe or whatever with the pink hair who just was like, it was just like, that became a bad thing. And it's not cool. It's not cool. Social justice is what has brought all of the innovations that we are able to enjoy today. So social justice is really, really important, guys. Let's get back to social justice being important. It forges change. Now, social justice, in order to effectuate change, you know, in the world so that we can see change and we can enjoy it, it takes people, everyday people like you and me, working across a bunch of different things to have better infrastructures in our city, to have better healthcare, better education. It takes people speaking up. The governments won't do it for you. It's actually people who do it, you know, and the government, they really base what they do off of the standards and the values that we set for ourselves. I think people are just figuring that out. But young people, it is up to you. Don't let somebody make you think that social justice is this weird, not cool thing. It's actually really, really cool. So let's talk about the top social justice activists in 2023 that you guys really, really need to take a look at. You need to be aware of. So Pashtana Durrani is an Afghan human rights activist, and her particular focus is the education and civil liberties of young girls, particularly, but girls and women. She has recently, but perhaps not so gently, and rightly so, reminded us that gender apartheid didn't just disappear in Afghanistan when the war in Afghanistan ended, and has urged us to not forget about the girls. Don't forget about the Afghan girls, guys. Durrani is the founder of Learn Afghanistan, which is an organization that helps promote education to Afghan girls through a safe online platform. Now that is boss behavior if I ever knew it. I know there's going to be some guys out there who are going to say, oh, here we go, another feminist thing. Of course she starts the list off focusing on some feminists talking about how girls need to have all the emphasis and stuff. Right now, guys, and if you want to deny this, don't, because the boys need just as much attention. The men need just as much attention. Now, I'm not going to start spouting off about how amazing Andrew Tate is because I don't like the guy. Okay, I think the incel movement is problematic. I think the men's rights movement is problematic. Maybe there are some people out there in those movements who are great people, but for the most part, what I'm seeing online, I'm not seeing the great people part. Anyway, but still, when we look, we see that men are going to university less, okay? They're going into the workforce less. They're becoming teachers. They're suffering more from things like anxiety and depression. They're committing suicide more. It's not good. It's not good. When we said that we wanted to make sure that there was more representation for women in the media and in all social landscapes and all social archetypes, that we wanted to see more representation and sort of a nurturing space for young girls to be themselves and to grow and learn, it should not have been at the expense of young boys and men. And I'm here to say that we see young boys and men suffering in society, whether that might be from mental health disorders, maybe that might be from things like bipolar disorder and ADHD. Maybe they can't sit down and concentrate, some of these young boys, because that just hasn't been what's been cultivated for them. Maybe they don't want to go to school because school, the curriculums haven't been sculpted or crafted around their unique needs. I'm here to say, as a woman, I understand you guys' frustration. So RichardVReeves, the author's most recent book, is called Of Boys and Men, Why the Modern Man is Struggling. The book focuses on how the modern wave of gender equality and focus on the success of girls and women in education, while this is important, like we stated, but nevertheless, has seemingly left boys and men hanging. Argues that the systems of education, psychology, sociology, and society at large have sort of dropped the ball on boys and men, and that some focus must be put on the unique struggles that men and boys face, or the implications for society will be dire. Justin Jones and Justin Pearson. So not to lump these two together, but their courage and their bravery just knocked us over with a feather when they channeled the likes of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and Al Sharpton in the 1950s and 60s. Justin Jones and Justin Pearson famously peacefully protested, advocating alongside many Tennessee teenagers and other young knowledge seekers, advocating for the safer gun laws in Tennessee that protect students. This came after yet another instance of a U.S. school shooting. The two were subsequently silenced to the mega extent and expelled from the Tennessee legislature. Not to mention, in their protests, there was a Tennessee 3. There was actually 3. The Justins, as they have so affectionately been called now, and Gloria Johnson, who is a white woman and older. She wasn't expelled. The Justins have since been reinstated, but are still advocating for safe and sane gun reform laws in the United States. Justin Jones put it really great very recently. You can't carry a paper sign to protest in the Tennessee House, but you can carry a gun in. It's not right. It's not right. Wendy West. She's a feminist icon. She's an amazing writer, and apparently she doesn't really like the term body positive anymore, and I can kind of understand that. The word itself doesn't really encompass the sentiment behind wanting all people to be accepted and to be able to be happy and healthy. But this quote from her pretty much says it all. She said, "I don't talk about body positivity anymore, because what I'm trying to talk about is fat liberation." I know that might sound crazy, but keep listening. She says, "But to really talk about what it means to liberate all bodies, you have to talk about the people who are the most marginalized, the people who can't get adequate medical care, people who are being discriminated against in employment, people who are dying." She then goes on to talk about how marginalized people, including the obese, many times can't fit into those social norms because they can't even get a doctor to take them seriously. They can't when society at large constantly has these unattainable expectations shoved down our throats by the media and by social norms. Whether you like the term body positivity or feminism or not, let's just try and have people be healthy and happy, yeah? Jeff Corwin, born July 11th, 1967, in Norwell, Massachusetts, is an American biologist and animal rights activist who you may recognize from Wildlife Nation with Jeff Corwin, The Jeff Corwin Experience on Animal Planet, Disney Channel's Going Wild with Jeff Corwin, or ABC's Ocean Mysteries. The guy's pretty popular. Many respect Jeff Corwin for his continued advocacy in preserving wildlife and protecting the natural habitats of animals, particularly marine animals. Jeff Corwin has used his vast knowledge of marine biology and wildlife to bring awareness to the imperative duty of humans to protect the nature of animals' natural ecosystems. Zoe Zephyr, born August 29, 1988, is a transgender American lawmaker and an LGBTQ advocate fighting for justice of LGBTQ people in America and around the world. Born in Billings, Montana, Zoe Zephyr was sworn into the Montana state legislature as one of the first non-binary persons to be elected. One of the first, and it's 2023. I get everybody might not be okay with it, but they need representation too. Everybody needs representation to a certain extent. And she has committed herself to eliminating voter suppression of LGBTQ people and advocating for saner laws that respect the rights of all people no matter their gender or orientation in the United States. I'm with that. I'm pretty much with that. Yeah, I'm with that. Nobody's trying to shove their beliefs off on you or shove their gender ideology off on you. They just want some representation. Sia Khaleesi, born June 16, 1991, is a South African professional rugby player who advocates for education and excellence in sports, especially for the most marginalized children and young people most adversely affected by poverty in South Africa. Sia Khaleesi grew up towards the end of the apartheid era in South Africa in staunch poverty. He uses his inspiring story to inspire others in Africa to dream big and reach their fullest potential through learning and staying active. Priya Sahani is an American animal rights activist who was born in 1989 in Punjab, India, and immigrated with her family to the United States when she was 12. Along with others, Priya started the Direct Action Everywhere organization, which is a grassroots network of animal rights activists to connect, share stories, and learn how to effectively advocate for the rights of animals. Priya's focus has been on bringing a stop to unethical animal testing farms, but she has also uniquely drawn the parallels between animal cruelty and racism. That is definitely a young social justice activist to keep an eye out for in 2023. So, Owen Jones. Owen Jones is a British newspaper columnist, political commentator, journalist, and author who was born on August 8, 1984, a day after my birthday, but just half a decade before. Go Leos. Along with being an inspiring young activist, the Mancunian writes for the likes of The Guardian, The New Statesman, and The Tribune. While Owen Jones' social justice advocacy focuses across many areas, many admire his work in fair independent news coverage, human rights, and anti-racism. Amanda Gorman. Amanda Gorman, born March 7, 1998, is an American poet and anti-racist activist who famously recited her now worldwide known poem, The Hill We Climb, at the inauguration of Joe Biden. Gorman is seen as extremely brave and inspiring to be so young and still be so committed to her work that focuses on the issues of racism and sexism. On the stark crusade to ban literature related to critical race theory in Florida, spearheaded by Ron DeSantis, Amanda said this when her famous poem, The Hill We Climb, was banned in the state. I wrote The Hill We Climb so that all young people could see themselves in a historical moment, she wrote. Ever since then, I've received countless letters and videos from children inspired by The Hill We Climb to write their own poems. Robbing children of the chance to find their voices in literature is a violation of their right to free thought and free speech. Truly, the world would be a much better place with more people like Amanda Gorman. Maxwell Frost. Maxwell Frost, born January 17, 1997, is an American representative for Florida's 10th congressional district since 2023 and the youngest member to ever be elected to Congress. Maxwell is an admirable advocate for the rights and fair education of young folks in America, particularly children of color. Maxwell Frost was the national organizing director for March for Our Lives. He has continually advocated for the equal rights to education and fair pay of Hispanic and African American and other marginalized people, the environment, sane gun reform laws in the U.S., and anti-racist policy. Maxwell, we salute you, my friend. Greta Thunberg. Greta Thunberg was born on January 2003 in Stockholm, Sweden, and has distinguished herself as an old soul. While her years may be young, she has the passion of a staunch environmental activist of many years. A global activist urging humans to recognize climate change and act accordingly, Greta has challenged Swedish Parliament and global leaders to better address climate change. Thunberg also raises awareness continually around autism as she uses her Asperger's syndrome as a superpower for good instead of looking at it as a disability. Greta, what would we do without you, girl? Last but not least, the Sussexes, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, Prince Harry, and Meghan Markle. For many of you who follow my channel pretty regularly, number one, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, will not come as a surprise. The couple famously stepped down as senior royals of the UK royal family after calling out institutional racism in the country. Despite years of smear campaigning, threats to their safety, and efforts to downplay their adversities, The couple continuously advocates for those suffering at the hands of racism, sexism, poverty, food insecurity, and for climate change. I still don't know how they do it. To illustrate just how warm-hearted and giving and real that they really are, let's look at some quotes. Here's one from Meghan Markle. Women don't need to find their voice. They need to be empowered to use it, and people need to be urged to listen. And let's not forget about the people's prince, Prince Harry. Here's one that exemplifies exactly why he's so in touch with the everyday people. In regards to mental health, Prince Harry said this, "I really regret not talking about it." In this instance, he's referring to when he stepped down as a senior royal, as he and his wife faced many threats to their safety due to them calling out institutional racism, but also to the gaslighting of mental health issues. We know that Prince Harry lost his mother, Princess Diana, when he was very young, and that has definitely had an adverse effect on his life. He now differentiates himself as an advocate for mental health. He goes on to say, "It is okay to suffer, but as long as you talk about it, it's not a weakness. Weakness is having a problem and not recognizing it and not solving the problem." Well, there you have it, guys. Those are the top social justice activists to take a look out for in 2023 and beyond. What will you do today? That is my question. There's so many things in the world to be taken a look at and how we can improve it, how we can make it better for people, for voices of all different backgrounds. That might be about health, that might be about nutrition, it might be about food safety, it might be about infrastructure or politics or government or education. It could be about public health, it could be about the healthcare system, it could be about public safety. There's so many things out there, and we might think that, hey, it's okay for us to just wait around for somebody else to solve it. But that's really not how it works. That's not how it's worked historically, and it's not how it'll work in the future. It's for us to put a megaphone to those issues, for us to advocate for the things that we really care about for us, our families, and our future. So my question is, how are you going to be a change maker? Let me know in the comments. And again, if you're new to this channel, please subscribe. There will be more videos like this. We talk about everything from pop culture to motivation to these things like social justice and the things that we really care about, to inspiration, to the news, to politics. I would love for you to join this little growing community. So please do hit the like and subscribe button, hit the bell. You know whenever I post a video, all the bells, Liberty Bell ringers. And with that being said, I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks so much for being here. Bye.